Welcome! My name is LikeIt's1985 and this is my review of a FansProject third-party Transformers figure. This is a look at the Function-X1 code figure, and of course this figure is a homage to the Generation 1 Headmaster Chrome Dome. And as such, it does have the Headmaster feature where the head actually transforms into a small robot mode. It does not, however, have the gimmick that the Generation 1 toy has where it reads out the stats for the character, which is not a big deal because I think if they were to implement that, it would drive up the cost and perhaps compromise some of the engineering and transformation process for this toy. So, having said that, let's take a look at the box. The box is nothing too special. It has a plastic sleeve here that covers a brown plain box. And looking at the box, you can see it has various information here. Nothing too fantastic. Inside it has a clear plastic clamshell in which the figure is placed in robot mode. And looking here, we got the pamphlet here that shows you how to transform this figure. Transformation actually isn't that bad. It's pretty straightforward, and we'll take a look at that in a few minutes. But first, let's take a look at a size comparison of this guy next to Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Cliff Jumper, just to give you an idea of the size on this figure. You see there? Okay, so looking at the figure itself, you can see the colors are definitely a homage to the Generation 1 Chrome Dome Headmaster figure. A really nice design, really nice detail. You can see it's got the two guns here, which are really nice. Let me go ahead and remove those. Now you can keep the guns in his hands for the transformation into vehicle mode and back and forth, but just to make it easier on me, I'm going to take these out for the review. But there they are, and they do each have articulation. There's a joint right there. This piece falls down like that. And those will attach later in the vehicle, or the vehicle form. Let's take a look at articulation. Well, the actual Headmaster is pegged into a turntable type of joint there, I guess you'd call it, and it rotates around. You can see how it moves there, which gives the Headmaster articulation there. Shoulder articulation is present. You can see there's a ball joint there. You've got your swivel here at your bicep. You have a elbow bend to that degree, and the actual hand here does rotate like that for transformation and swivel around 360. You do have the waist articulation here, and that will play a part in the transformation as well. Hips, you can see, are on a ball joint, wide range of movement, no problems there, out to the side a bit, swivel, and a full bend at the knee, which is really cool. Now the ankle articulation is just a swivel type of joint. It doesn't do more than that. For the transformation you can rotate this around, but as of now this piece is blocking that rotation. But if that wasn't there you could rotate that, but again that's for the transformation. So there's your articulation. Let's take a look at the Headmaster here. You can see how it goes in there. Looking at the Headmaster here, you can see it does have some detail as far as eyes. And when you transform this, as you pull the legs and unfold them, it actually will cover up the eyes. Let's do it from this side here. As I'm pulling down the legs here, you can see how that gets covered up. Like that. That's pretty neat. So then when he's in his robot mode, you don't have those eyes there, which is nice. So you have a swivel at the shoulders, a swivel at the hip, and a swivel at the knees. So as you can see, very basic. And this figure does fit inside of the cockpit for the vehicle mode. With that said, let's go ahead and transform the main body here. First thing I'm going to do is work on the arms. Now the arms you want to do is you want to fold them up all the way as far as they'll go. Then you want to take the wrist, rotate it like that, so the flat side of the hand is going to sit like that. This brown piece is going to come down like that. Once again, on the other side, like that. Now the shoulder section here is actually held in pretty securely. It's going to hinge up upwards, but before you can do that, actually you want to release that by opening the canopy here, and that's going to allow you to go like that. So when the canopy is closed, it actually secures the shoulder pieces really nicely. So go ahead and rotate these pieces out here. And while we're here, this is the actual cockpit, the controls for the driver. There's a peg right there, which will actually, let me go ahead and place the little Headmaster figure in there, because otherwise it's going to be hard to get to later. And you're supposed to be able to, actually, forgot, you can rotate this up like that to make it easier to access that part. There we go. And then like that. So, fold that down for now. So coming to this side, you're looking at the top of the vehicle mode here. What you want to do is you want to have these sections here facing this way. So you're going to rotate the shoulder joint such that you have it like this. That should allow you to tab the two arms in place like that. And you can see you have the back half of the vehicle mode. Alright, not sure why that's pegging in, or not pegging in all the way, but anyways, I'll deal with that later. So, the other thing is, you want to make sure you bring down this section here, and you notice there's a track there, and this whole hood, what is essentially the hood, is going to track down. And if you rotate the waist first, you're not going to be able to transform this figure correctly. So we need to make sure that you actually pull this hood section, which is on a track, all the way down to the crotch area. Like that. Then rotate around. So now you got it looking like this. So, working on the legs, and let me go ahead and unfold the, I guess what would be the front bumper. And this gets unfolded like that. So for the legs, looking at it like this piece comes up like that. You want to take this whole assembly here, rotate this around like that, and then like that. So there you go. And then what's going to happen, of course, is you're going to take the joint here, fold it back to form the sides of the vehicle mode. Okay, that seems to be better there. So now what I find is easier is to actually go ahead and lift the canopy up again. And these sections here, you want to tab it, not really tab it, but just put it together here on the side like that. And there's a little tab and slot here. Bring this down. You can see how that one locked in place. I'm not sure what's going on with this side here. There we go. You can see how there's a tab in the slot there. And then lastly, well not lastly, but next, bring down the canopy. And there is a bit of scraping here. And if you watch T2RX's review, which is a great review by the way, check his review out because he actually took a little bit off of the corner here so it's not at a right angle. But anyways, you're gonna scratch some plastic there, but you got to do that to get the canopy down. And let me go ahead and peg on the guns here. And that's why you have the articulation at the handles, so you can actually angle these as such, which is cool. And let me just do a last minute check here, make sure everything's as good as it's going to get for this review. I think it is. There's a little gap there in the hood, but I think that's going to be the best I can do. As you can see, it rolls really well. The surface of my reviewing surface here is not really flat, but it does roll, as you can see, really well. And before I forget, let me bring in Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Wheeljack. They stack up pretty well as far as a size comparison. Take a few seconds to look at that. So there you go, just an idea how big this guy is in vehicle form. So let's take a look at the details here. Again, I like the way that you can position these to a certain degree. You have some posability there. Lots of detail here. You got the thrusters, I guess, or exhaust, or whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, we got a little Headmaster inside there. You got some of this brown translucent plastic. You don't see brown translucent plastic very often. So very nice. You can see some of the details here on the side, on the hood. Look at the undercarriage here. So yeah, this is a really nice figure. At first I wasn't really impressed with it, but as I learned about the engineering that went into this, I've actually become to really like this figure. I was at one point going to sell it after having just received it, but it's actually really nice. The guns look a little bit big in relation to the car, but you know, I'm not going to complain about that. Better to have guns that are too big than too small, I guess. Well, that's about it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said before, at first I was thinking about selling this, but now I actually like this figure a lot due to the fact that, yes, it's a nice homage to the Generation 1 figure, and it's a very nice, very well engineered piece of third-party Transformers goodness. Alright, you've been watching a review of the FansProject Function-X1 code figure. Catch you guys later.